number 2 at the Wildy Gym, St. Lucy's Kerry Francis upset former world number 1 Julian Michael Jackson White, while Curtis Jones swept Adrian Skeet in the final against St. John. CBC's Shane Jones reports.
Okay, the first match of the A-Class final, Julian Michael Jackson White playing for St. John, taking on St. Lucy's Kerry Francis. Francis with an opportunity for a winner, but it's long. The weight of the former world champion may have been too much for Francis in the first game, and forced error there. In fact, White took the first game easily at 10. Francis needing to get back in it. Game number 2 now, moving well, White shifts him. Francis started to show some fight, showing he could go toe-to-toe with White, matching him, and it paid off. White into the net. Francis believing in himself, and he was coming out of his shell. Yes, he was getting into his groove. Wonderful backhand return. Then he evened things up at 1 game apiece, taking the second 21-17. This game to determine who would take first blood. White into the net. But Francis gaining confidence. Check this out. This drop shot too good for White. Jackson, you know him, he's a class act, showing that he could apply the pressure even when up against it. Francis smelling blood. How about that? Big point coming up. Could Francis hold his nerve to upset Jackson? The two giving nothing away, holding on for dear life, and Jackson sends it long. Francis coming from behind to win 2-1. Second encounter now, the left-handed Adrian Skeet for St. John in yellow, needing a win over St. Lucy's Curtis Jones. Both moving well, good agility, and well executed. This one sat up nicely for Jones. He'll take those anytime. Jones here going for the drop shot, but Skeet returns. I don't think he was quite ready for that. Jones pulling away, Skeet trying to force the issue off the net and out. And Jones eventually took the first game at 18. St. Lucy well on their way. Beautiful exchanges between the two in game number 2. Skeet needing to turn things around. Good idea, but it's just out. Jones in total control of this one, having it his way. Look at the aggression. St. John in big trouble. Skeet falling to pieces. That's long. 20-9 now. Championship point for St. Lucy. And what a way to bring home the bacon with a sow. 21-9. St. Lucy, the A-Class champions. Shane Jones, CBC Sports.
Report on the veterans and youth finals later tonight at 8:30 during CBC Sports. On out of football, Weymouth Wales still sit at the top of the BFA Digicel Premier League despite being held to a draw by Barbados Defence Force sports program last night at the Wildy AstroTurf. Wales lead with 7 points while BDF are 6 on 5, and those two remain the only teams yet to lose this season. Also last night, Rendezvous moved into second spot on 6 points after blanking Empire. Rendezvous had their way with Empire in the middle stages of this game, even though they lost to Ron Miller near the end after he got his second yellow card. 36 minutes in, we had the opening goal. Chandel Samuel seemingly waiting for numbers, but he sees an opening, which he successfully took. And just before the break, Samuel got his brace. Rendezvous were clearly outsprinting Empire, and as a result, they were getting into scoring positions. Final score, Rendezvous 2-0 over Empire. The final game of the weekend produced a game between leaders, Weymouth Wales, and defending champs, BDF Sports Program. BDF got theirs in the first half. Shaquille Short in the 36th minute rose up at the far post from a free kick, and he beat the advancing keeper. And you can't blame the champs for thinking that they were going to come away with full points, because it wasn't until 6 minutes from time when Wales got the equalizer. Hayden Holligan hooked one back to the far post, beating the keeper and a diving defender. The final score, Sports Program 1, Wales 1. From more results this weekend, Mackason Bridens Hill are in third spot after defeating the winless Lumisol Technology Inc. Pinelands 1-0 via a Travis Coppin strike. UWI Blackbirds are fourth after they doubled up on DirecTV Paradise, and Clayton's Colatonic Notre Dame got their first win over the winless phone repair medic Belfield. The scoring going in the 32nd minute when Anton Graves got the ball from a quickly taken corner kick. Then he took care of business, a wonderful mid-range strike to make it 1-0. What turned out to be the winner came early in the second half. In the 55th minute to be precise, Kyle Gibson was fed the ball after a promising run from midfield. He drew the keeper out before making the acute angle. Belfield seemingly got back into it when Henderson Richards slipped by the Dame's custodian Kareem Farrell in the 74th minute and slotted home to cut deficit to 2-1. However, that's how it would end. Dames 2, Belfield 1. In the other game, there was another 2-1 scoreline. This time, it was UWI Blackbirds over Paradise, and again, the losers made the first mark. Elijah Downey in the 29th opting to go solo, and the finish with the left boot was a beaut. Just as in the first game though, Blackbirds would equalize before the half. Jario Lombardo in the 39th would benefit from a promising run down the left flank. After it was crossed to him, all he had to do was pick his spot, and it's 1-1. The winner came late in the piece. 9 minutes from time, Mario Hart got the ball at point-blank range after Lombardo had slipped through the defense and played across the ball. Final score, Blackbirds 2, Paradise 1. The Bushy Park Racing Circuit came alive over the weekend when the 2016 Radical International Winter Cup got underway. Drivers from the Caribbean, United Kingdom, and the United States were all here for the first weekend of racing for 2016, which included several debutants, two of whom have yet to hit their 20s. 19-year-old Calvin Ming from Guyana scored 2 wins, while the 17-year-old Jack Manchester from England unfortunately crashed out on day 1. The other debutant was Barbadian Suleiman Yusuf, who registered a win in his very first race. Meanwhile, in the Swifts, the drivers continued their battles from the Summer Series, with champions David Somerville Jr. looking to take the Winter Cup Series as well. CBC's Shane Jones has some racing from early on day 1.
Starting off with the Radical RS3 race, and new boy Suleiman Youssef, who shocked the rest of the field by qualifying on pole, leads ahead of fellow debutant, the 19-year-old Guyanese wonder kid Calvin Ming and the experienced Sean Maloney. Midway, and Youssef is proven to be hard to catch at the point. Behind him is Ming, who has Sean Maloney all over his back bumper, while his brother Mark looks on and waits for a chance to pounce should incident occur. The battle for second continues as Maloney makes a dive on the inside of Ming, but he manages to deal with it. However, he opened the door, and this gift is accepted by Maloney, which relegated Ming to third and into the waiting arms of Mark Maloney. On to the last lap, and Youssef is now under pressure from Sean, while his brother Mark slips past Ming, who made an error. It is second and third for the Maloneys, however. Drama comes as Sean makes a mistake and spins out, gifting his brother Mark second and Ming third place. At the end though, it was all about Youssef, who gets his first win in his debut race with a perfect pole to first finish. Mark Maloney was second and Sean third. Ming placed fourth on his debut. On to the third race of the day, and the second for the Suzuki Swifts. The race went in reverse order, with race 1 winner David Somerville Jr. starting at the back, and it was Mark Thompson who benefited most as he led off the start line. Thompson continued to build a healthy lead with his brother Kurt Thompson in second, and while Jason Parkinson sat in third for the moment. The race drawing to a close, and the talented Thompson pulls out a massive lead over the rest of the field, who continue to squabble amongst themselves. And it would finish as it started, with Mark Thompson finishing some 5 seconds ahead of his brother Kurt in second and Jason Parkinson in third. Special mention goes to young Samantha Somerville, who got her highest placed finish of 6 after holding off some more experienced drivers.
Other results over the weekend in the Swifts were Mark Thompson with 2 wins, Ryan Peru also had 2, while David Somerville and Ryan Wood scored a win each. Meanwhile, the other champions in the Radicals, Sean Maloney, scored 2 wins, with his brother Stuart getting 1. That's sports for now. I'll be back at 8:30 with more sports. But up next,